Hey Chiefs Kingdom, before we jump into today's show, this is the channel for you if you are a die-hard Chiefs fan. We will be your hub all offseason long for the latest Chiefs news, rumors, free agency, draft coverage as well. So join the family, subscribe today. It's 100% free. You see the link below. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Got some rumors on deck for you guys, so stay tuned right now. Appreciate everybody tuning in to today's Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, and we'll be all off-season long. Lots of rumors to get into, a three-pack today, and how about Eric Bieniemy? Let's start there. Could he be leaving the Chiefs? And I know some of you are like, what do you mean? He didn't get a head coaching job. Yeah, that is correct. But he's also running out of his contract. His contract expires at some point this offseason, I would assume before the new league year starts in March. And there's been kind of an idea out there, and I can't completely dismiss it, that could he be better off trying something else, going elsewhere to be a play caller, because he's not calling plays in Kansas City. Now, Andy Reid continues to say he's involved in the play calling. He's involved in our game planning throughout the week. He has input. But until the narrative of, oh, this is Andy Reid's offense, goes away, I don't think Eric Bieniemy is getting a head coaching job at this point. I mean, think about it at this point for Eric Bieniemy. We're like 4 or 5 years into this for him getting interviews. Didn't get a job this year despite there being 9 head coach openings. 9. Matt Eberflus, first-time head coach. He gets a job with the Bears. Nathaniel Hackett, first-time head coach. He wasn't the play caller in Green Bay. He gets a job in Denver. Lovie Smith is getting a third opportunity with Houston. Jacksonville hires Doug Peterson. Josh McDaniels gets a second chance in Las Vegas. Mike McDaniel, who didn't call plays in San Francisco, he's now the head coach in Miami. Kevin O'Connell, same deal. He's not the play caller with the Rams, but he gets the Vikings job. Dennis Allen gets a second chance. Brian Dable in New York, and somehow Eric Bieniemy can't get a head coaching job. He's done reportedly about 20 interviews over the last 4 years. If you're Eric Bieniemy, like, what else can you do at this point? The way I see it, he has 2 options. Number one, you re-up with the Chiefs, you hang out, you keep trying. Maybe worst case scenario, you replace Andy Reid in Kansas City one day, but you don't know how long Reid's going to coach. Option number 2. You leave, you go call plays somewhere, you prove that it's not all Andy Reid, it's not all Mahomes and these skill players, which I understand the thinking behind that from some of these teams. Go call plays for a lesser talented team, have success, then get a head coaching job. Those are his 2 options. I really think it is that simple. With his contract currently expiring very, very soon, that probably gives him an opportunity to sit back here for the next week or 2 and think, okay, what do I really want? And if he wants to be a head coach sooner rather than later, then leaving to call plays might be his best chance. So you guys see the question on screen. Will Eric Bieniemy return in 2022? Type Y for yes, type in for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with a YouTube ad break, go ahead and reply right there. Let's shift over to free agency now. How about bringing back Emmanuel Ogbah, a familiar face for the Kansas City Chiefs, who started his career in Cleveland. It then was brought over in 2019 before signing a 2-year deal with Miami, and he's been really nice for the Dolphins over the past couple of seasons. 18 sacks in 2 years with Miami, playing under Brian Flores, who obviously is no longer the coach there, but now that he hits free agency, he's probably going to look to cash in with these numbers. But if you can get him at a decent price, I think that's something to consider. These numbers are impressive, man. 9 sacks a year, 17 pass breakups as an edge rusher. He's getting hands on footballs. That's something that I think is a super underrated trait for a defensive lineman. He's super underrated, period, both as a pass rusher and defending passes, like I mentioned with the pass breakups there. 4 forced fumbles in that stretch. Sure, he's not a true number 1 pass rusher, but he's a good number 2. I mean, you got Chris Jones. You put him on the edge on one side, then all of a sudden, you can release a Frank Clark to save some money. You can not bring back Melvin Ingram if you want to. You could go with Emmanuel Ogbah and someone else. Maybe a Michael Dana is ready to start next season. It gives you some options. I do think that Ogbah is a player that I would have some interest in if the price is Chiefs right. Now, again, I bet he's going to try and cash in. This might be his best chance to cash in at a pretty decent price tag, but I think the Chiefs really have to look at this defensive line and make some decisions. Is Clark a part of the future? Is Melvin Ingram worth bringing back? Do you go heavy in the draft or in free agency with a couple of pass rushers? I think they got to figure that out. Beyond Chris Jones, I think there's huge question marks on this front four, and I think a lot of the good teams that are playing deep into the year, which obviously the Chiefs have been one of those, they all have good pass rushes. I mean, look at the teams in the Super Bowl. Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals, one of the best pass rushers in the league. The Rams front four, super solid. They go get a Von Miller to help bolster that unit. If you're Kansas City, your best avenue might be being able to get after other teams' quarterbacks, and Emmanuel Ogbah is a player that can help you do that. Now pick one, because both are free agents. Type EO for Emmanuel Ogbah, type MI for Melvin Ingram. Get your votes in down in the comment section. If you had to pick a pass rusher, make a selection right now. EO for Ogbah, or you can type in MI for Melvin Ingram. Now let's talk about BetUS and some Super Bowl stuff before we get to our final story. BetUS is the place to go to bet on all things Super Bowl, point spread, over, under, props, player props, novelty props. Like, you can literally bet on if Snoop Dogg's going to smoke on stage. It's amazing. Eminem's hair color. It's amazing. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125 to get that deposit bonus. And we're bringing back our jersey giveaway deal through Super Bowl Sunday, so take advantage, follow the steps on screen. I would just screenshot this right now on your phone, tablet, computer, whatever, and follow the steps in order from top to bottom. Got to go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. If you don't use our URL, none of it matters. Plug in the promo code Chiefs125. Got to deposit a minimum of $100. You'll get that deposit bonus. Then just place a bet on any game, any prop. Doesn't matter. $5 here, $5 there. You're good to go. Email us, jersey@chatsports.com, once you follow all the steps prior to that, and we'll hook you guys up with a brand new Chiefs jersey. We got Mahomes in the red and in the yellow, the inverted jersey here as well. And if you want a Clyde Edwards-Helaire jersey, those are in stock as well. Don't currently have the Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce ones. Those are the ones we have available, Mahomes and CEH. Get going with BetUS, then email us, jersey@chatsports.com. This jersey giveaway deal only for new customers only. Speaking of Mahomes, could the Chiefs be restructuring his contract this offseason? Obviously, Kansas City's cap space is going to be a little bit limited this offseason, and, this is going to be something Brett Veach has to navigate moving forward, because when you're a top contender, typically you have a lot of big contracts, and navigating the cap is part of the job as a GM. I mean, we've seen teams like the Saints and the Rams be able to manipulate it a lot over recent years, and that's something the Chiefs are starting to enter as well. Spotrac kind of mentioned that restructuring Mahomes is a real possibility, that they can convert a lot of that money into signing bonus, which would clear up almost $22 million. Now, obviously, when you restructure, you do the signing bonus deal, it's a short-term play, because you see in the future his cap hits go up. But Saints did that for years to remain contenders, and they've been a contender every year just about, at least while Breeze was there. Restructuring Mahomes is likely. This is what happens when you pay quarterbacks. You pay them and you restructure them just about every year. You push money down the road, and you worry about later. And that's my advice to the Chiefs here. Worry about next year. Then when you get to next year, do it again and keep pushing it back. And sure, one day you'll bite the bullet, but I'm not wasting years while Mahomes is in his prime. I'll tell you that right now. So it is what it is. So I think, and on the flip side, the cap will keep going up too. So as his future cap hit increases, it's really not that big of a deal, because you're able to absorb that rather easier moving forward. And now that we're kind of, COVID's still a thing a little bit, but the cap is going to keep going up now that last year's situation where the cap went down is behind us. All right, name a player the Chiefs should sign in free agency, because obviously if the Chiefs restructure Patrick Mahomes, that will be a play to clear up some cap space and try to add a player here and there, like an Emmanuel Ogbah perhaps. Maybe to try to bring back Tyrann Mathieu. Obviously, a lot of this is to be able to keep Orlando Brown long term. He is going to be a part of this team's future. So Brett Veach is going to have to restructure some contracts, cut a couple of players probably, and figure this out, because that is part of the deal when you run a good team, is that you've got to factor it all into the salary cap. So let me know who's a player you would like to see the Chiefs sign. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to today's Kansas City Chiefs Report. You see the link below, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. More videos to come throughout the week, and of course all off-season long, so subscribe, turn on those notifications. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.